Messages from Medjugorje, a tapestry of hope. In the summer of 1981, on a hillside in a small village in Bosnia-Herzegovina, the world as we knew it shifted. 6 children, their eyes gazing up towards a radiant figure bathed in light, bore witness to something extraordinary. This was the first of many apparitions in Medjugorje, a place that would soon become synonymous with miracles and messages from beyond. Ivan Dragičević, just a teenager at the time, was among those 6. Since that day, he, along with others, has continued to receive daily apparitions and messages from the Virgin Mary. These are the messages we'll explore today, messages that resonate with the deepest longings of the human spirit, pointing us towards a brighter future built on faith, hope, and love. The first whispers of hope. June 24th, 1981. Imagine, if you will, that summer evening in 1981. The air is still, the sun beginning its descent, casting long shadows across the hillside. 6 young people, their lives about to change forever, gather, drawn by an unseen force. It was on this day that Ivan, along with the other visionaries, received the very first message. Dear children, pray, pray, pray. These 3 words, echoing across the years, carry within them the weight of eternity. The Virgin Mary, in her infinite wisdom, chose to begin her message with a call to prayer, recognizing its power to transform not just individuals but the world. Ivan, in sharing this first message, invites us to embrace the power of prayer in our own lives. So let us heed the call, the first whisper of hope from Medjugorje. Pray, pray, pray. A Call to Peace, 1983. As the apparitions in Medjugorje continued, a central theme began to emerge. Peace. This was not simply a call for an end to conflict, but a plea for a deeper, more profound peace, a peace that begins in the hearts of individuals and radiates outwards. In 1983, this message of peace took center stage. The Virgin Mary, her voice filled with a mother's compassion, implored, Dear children, today I invite you to peace. Pray for peace in your hearts and in the world. Peace, she reminds us, is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of something far greater. Ivan, sharing this message, urges us to examine our own hearts and find peace within. Once we find peace within, we can then become instruments of peace in the world. Embracing the Christmas spirit, December 25th, 1984. The Christmas season, a time of joy, celebration, and family gatherings, takes on a deeper meaning in the context of Medjugorje. On Christmas Day in 1984, the Virgin Mary's message carried a special significance. Dear children, I invite you to live Christmas in peace and love. Ivan, sharing this message, encourages us to look beyond the commercialization that often overshadows the true meaning of Christmas. To live Christmas in peace is to let go of anger, resentment, and grudges. To live Christmas in love is to embrace the spirit of giving, not just of material possessions, but of ourselves. Chapter 4. The call to holiness is a thread that runs throughout the messages of Medjugorje. In 1987, this message of holiness was brought to the forefront. Dear children, I invite you to holiness. Pray and be holy as my Son is holy. Ivan, in sharing this message, emphasizes that holiness is not an unattainable ideal reserved for a select few, but a calling for all. It is about allowing God's grace to transform us from within. The path to holiness, he reminds us, is paved with prayer. But holiness is not simply about personal piety. It is about living a life that reflects God's love in the world. It is about treating others with kindness and compassion, about standing up for justice and truth. Chapter 5. Life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, triumph and tribulation. In 1990, as the world watched the unfolding of events that would reshape the geopolitical landscape, the Virgin Mary offered a message of comfort and encouragement. Dear children, do not lose hope. God is with you and loves you. These words, simple yet profound, serve as a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. Ivan, sharing this message, reminds us that hope is not simply wishful thinking, but a deep-seated trust in God's providence. It is about clinging to the belief that even in the darkest of nights, dawn will eventually break. To lose hope is to succumb to despair, to believe that our circumstances are beyond God's power to heal and restore. But to hold on to hope is to affirm our faith in God's love. Chapter 6. The 25th of June marks the anniversary of the apparitions in Medjugorje, a day of special significance for the visionaries and pilgrims alike. On this day, in 1995, the Virgin Mary's message focused on two pillars of the Christian faith: prayer and love. "Dear children," she urged, "today I invite you to renew your commitment to prayer and to live in the love of God." Ivan, sharing this message, emphasizes that prayer is not simply a duty, but a privilege, a way to connect with the divine. To live in the love of God is to allow that love to transform every aspect of our being. It is to embrace the two greatest commandments: to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. Chapter 7. Welcoming the Savior, December 25th, 2000. At the dawn of a new millennium, the Christmas message from Medjugorje carried a profound sense of hope and renewal. On December 25th, 2000, the Virgin Mary's words echoed with a mother's tender love. "Dear children, today I invite you to receive my Son with love in your hearts." Ivan, sharing this message, encourages us to move beyond the commercialism and superficiality that often overshadow the true meaning of Christmas. To receive Jesus with love is to open our hearts to his transformative presence. As we celebrate Christmas, let us heed the Virgin Mary's call to receive Jesus with open hearts and minds. Let us make room for him in our homes, our families, and our lives. Chapter 8. The messages of Medjugorje consistently emphasize the interconnectedness of humanity. On the anniversary of the apparitions in 2010, this message took center stage. "Dear children, be bearers of peace and love in your families and in the world." Ivan, sharing this message, emphasizes that we are not merely passive recipients of God's grace, but active participants in his plan of salvation. To be bearers of peace means to be peacemakers in our own lives, to let go of anger, resentment, and bitterness. It means to be bridge builders, to reach out to those who are different from us. To be bearers of love means to reflect God's unconditional love in all that we do. It means to treat others with kindness, compassion, and respect. Chapter 9. In a world grappling with uncertainty, conflict, and division, the need for peace has perhaps never been greater. On the anniversary of the apparitions in 2020, the Virgin Mary's message resonated with a profound sense of urgency. "Dear children, pray for peace and live in the hope that God is with you." Ivan, sharing this message, emphasizes that prayer is not a passive activity, but a powerful force for good in the world. It is through prayer that we tap into the infinite power of God. To pray for peace is to acknowledge the darkness, to face it head-on, and to call upon the light of God to overcome it. The hope that God is with us is not a naive optimism that ignores the realities of the world. It is a deep-seated trust in God's providence. Chapter 10. For over 4 decades, the messages of Medjugorje have served as a beacon of hope, a source of comfort, and a call to conversion for millions around the world. Ivan Dragičević, a humble witness to the extraordinary, has faithfully shared these messages, inviting us to embrace a life transformed by prayer, love, and a deep and abiding faith. The Virgin Mary's words, echoing through Ivan, remind us that we are not alone in this journey. God is with us, offering his grace, his guidance, and his unwavering love. The messages of Medjugorje are an invitation to a deeper relationship with God, nurtured through prayer, expressed in love, and lived out in service to others. They call us to examine our hearts, to let go of the negativity that binds us, and to embrace the transformative power of forgiveness, compassion, and unconditional love. The legacy of Medjugorje lives on in the hearts of those who have been touched by its message of hope, peace, and love. As we conclude our journey through the messages of Medjugorje, as shared by visionary Ivan Dragičević, we are left with a profound sense of hope and a renewed sense of purpose. These messages, woven together, form a tapestry of divine love, a call to embrace a life transformed by prayer, peace, and an unwavering faith in God's plan. Ivan's unwavering commitment to sharing these messages is a testament to their power and their relevance in our lives today. Let us take these messages to heart, allowing them to shape our thoughts, our words, and our actions. The world needs the message of Medjugorje now more than ever. Let us be the ones to carry this message forward, to share it with our families, our communities, and our world.